Hi all, why not here? Today I'm going to talk to you a bit about my recent trip on the Appalachian Trail, as which will be followed afterwards by a bunch of pictures and a closing statement by me. So we arrived at the Appalachian Trail kickoff on March 6th, 2020, and we spent the weekend there at Tent City by the visitor center at Amicalola Falls. Sorry for the slow pronunciation of that because I get tongue tied. Um, and in my group there was myself, why not? Oz, Thumper, and No Worries. Um, at the Appalachian Trail kickoff, we stayed at, as I said, Tent City at the state park, which is located in Georgia, United States of America. We did some shopping, we went to some speeches, and we hanged out with other hikers that have either through hiked before or are going to through hike this year. Um, on March 8th, which was a Sunday, we started our hike and we did the approach trail, which is about 8.9 miles for day one, and that got us to Springer Mountain campsite. Um, on day two, we did 12.3 miles, and that got us to Cooper Gap. On that day, the highlight of this day was Long Creek Falls. Beautiful falls, beautiful, very beautiful. And I recommend that even if you're not going to do the AT and you're in the area, do a day hike to the falls. It is worth it. I have some pictures of the falls itself. Um, and Long Creek Falls is located 5.2 miles on the AT. After Cooper Gap, we went to Woody Gap, which is 8.2 miles which equal to an 8.2 mile day. And here we received our first major trail magic, which was chili dogs, beer, pop, fruit, chips, a whole slew of stuff. And it was great. Day 4, we did Blood Mountain. Blood Mountain was probably the hardest day on the trail for me, one of two hard days, both mentally and physically, but I got through it. And the day was only 10.8, but it was quite an up to Blood Mountain. But we did get to meet Darwin, who's a big YouTuber. His YouTube channel is Darwin on the Trail. If you haven't ever heard of him, check him out. It's worth it. And then we took a day off. We stayed at Blood Mountain Shelter not shelter, but like cabins for a day to recover, clean our gear out because a lot of our stuff was wet. So we did that. The next day we went to, day 5 we got back on the trail and we did 11.5 miles to Low Gap Shelter. There was a huge amount of people there that day and it was a great day. Next we went to, just a minute, I'm sorry everyone, I gotta look at my notes because there's so much I want to say. Yeah, that day was 11.5 miles. Next was day 7. We made it to Cheese Factory Site. No idea why it was called that, but it's a tent site. It was really nice, actually. A lot of spots for tents. And that was a 13.4 mile day. Next, we did a 10.6 mile day to Deep Gap Shelter. And then day 8 was a short day which was only 3.6, and that got it. And we went into Hiawassee, but we stayed at Henson's Cove Bed and Breakfast for the night. Beautiful place. Really recommend it. If you're going to be on the AT and you're in that area, go check him out. He's worth it. He has a cabin, pretty much a cabin that has 3-4 beds. You can fit probably 2, 4, 6, 8 people in there. Really great. It has a kitchen, has 2 bathrooms, one with a shower, one not. 2-floor cabin, a little balcony, a barbecue, has everything you really need. And he'll give you a ride into Hiawassee to get your supplies, which is great. We also went to a really great restaurant called Country Kitchen, which is an all-you-can-eat restaurant, really. You pay for your meal, and you eat as much as you can or want. The next day, around 10 o'clock in the morning, we got back on the trail, and we did 11.8 miles to Muskrat Creek Shelter. Great day, second hardest day. We crossed into North Carolina, and that was a kick in the butt because it was great walking. You get a note from Georgia that day. Then you got into North Carolina, and it was nothing but a sheer uphill climb. I think that was the day that we did Kelly's Knob. I'm not sure though. And we, yeah. And then we went to Yeah, and that got us to Carter Gap Shelter. Here I met Can Man for the first time, and me and him had a good. We bonded together. He's from the Netherlands, by the way, so he had to get off the trail eventually as well, to get home with everything going on. And I also had my first sleep in a shelter. Next, we did a long day, about 12, not 12. We did another long day, about 12 miles, and we got to Rock Gap Shelter. And here we had another really good trail magic by a family who hiked the trail as a family the other year. I think it was 2018, they said. And it was fettuccine Alfredo, corn dogs, deep fried cheese. Someone brought beer. Someone brought fruit. There was a bunch of stuff there. It was really great. Really excellent trail magic. And then we got off the trail and went to Gouda Grove. Great hostel. Really recommended. The guy actually looks like Robert Downey Jr. Just like, it's amazing how similar he is. So we stayed there for a night, and me and Oz stayed there for most of the next day while Thumper went and got the van, and then we drove back to Canada. And that was 3 weeks ago. So without further ado, I'm going to have a roll of my picks come up now. I hope you guys enjoy the picks, and then I'll be back afterwards to tell you about what's going to happen with my channel going forward. Thanks, y'all. Enjoy the pictures. Well, I hope you all liked my pictures. Going forward with COVID-19 going on, I will be doing a few videos. I will still try to put video content out there, but it's going to be mostly from my house or my yard and any local trails that may be open. I'm not promising that because day hikes might not be open here in Woodstock soon. I'm not sure. But I will do my best to get content out there. And it might be, it's going to be one I got planned is my gear that I had on the AT. One with the gear that I'm replacing gear I'm going to use going forward because I got some new gear on order right now. I'm going to do probably map and compass, knot tying, and other skills that might be useful for hiking or outdoor adventures that you may want to know. I'm going to do a video on, I'll probably do one on bear hanging, different concepts of bear food holding. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm Why Not.